Perfect shot for the gram. The Alchemist 369 is underway.
All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back for another live Q&A. I am the Alchemist 369, and yeah, that intro was pretty nice. It's actually quite nice too. I was just yesterday swimming with the sea turtles in the Pacific Ocean, so it was a very nice remembrance of that. But yeah, welcome, guys. So this will be a live Q&A. Pretty much on all topics. In the event I feel as if I shouldn't answer a question on YouTube, I will skip it. But yeah, welcome, guys. So at this time, you guys feel free to drop your questions in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them for you. And this is always geared to help you guys, right? So whatever issues you guys are having, whatever questions you have to help put the pieces together. Oh, what's up, fourth eye? What's up, man? Welcome. Hey, Melanie. Yeah, welcome, guys. It's good to see you guys here. Yeah, so I don't really have anything else planned for this other than a Q&A. So, you know, if you guys have questions, you know, feel free to drop them in and we can get this started. I'm currently drinking some ginger lemon tea. You know, I fast pretty much every day, all day for, you know, anywhere from 20 to 24 hours every day. But I will drink some ginger and lemon tea throughout the day. It's just very good. You know, it really heals your body, you know, just drinking natural things from the earth, and try to eat, you know, whole one ingredient foods as much as possible. You know, they're poisoning us through our food, quite literally. So try to eat, you know, whole one ingredient foods as much as always. All right. So we got some questions coming in. Can I describe each other realm I have traveled and what it was like and what you did, what experiences I had, such in realm 3 or any other realms? Yeah. So the only way that I even know that there were realms was because, you know, Darius had mapped them out. But an experience I just had the other day, it was realm 3. I know for sure based off of the feeling because I've been there before. And the experience was literally, I came out, you know, it was a little bit rough of an exit for me, but I did come out, and a being was in my room, and we went out the door that's like literally right in front of me. And as I'm on the other side of the door, I was instantly in this place, and there was water on either side of me. Like, water is very prevalent in these other realms. Like, they use water for all types of stuff. Like, it's really intricate, and they use it for power. They use it for healing. They understand the mechanics of this place and the properties that all of the elements hold, so they're able to live cohesively with the environment and do things that help that. But yeah, so I'm walking on an aisle. There was water on either side. In front of me, there was this throne fit for like a human, and then there was some like 4 or 5 beings on either side of the throne. And the beings on either side of the throne were very tall. They literally look exactly like the Anunnaki depictions that you see, like those pictures. That's quite literally what they look like. And yeah, they were telling me some things about this experience. They were telling me specifically about my mission and how I almost let somebody deter me from that and not to do so, because everybody here has their own mission. And to be very sure that I continue and keep doing what I'm doing to the highest integrity, and just like telling me to like keep going. So that was that experience. Yeah, realm 2. I've been to realm 2 a couple times. One time I've been to realm 2 was in my soul record, so it was like a part of my soul records, and I was just viewing other lifetimes of mine there, seeing how I was helping on some of the ships. I was helping with some of the ships. You know, realm 5, the heavenly realm. That's really like just like it's really magical. It's really peaceful. Now, when I say they're all separated by frequency, they truly are separated by frequency. And frequency is what, as we know, is feelings. Light is separated by frequency. So when you get to these higher realms, there's more light. The feeling is raised. It was really like a relaxed feeling, like no care at all, you know, in the heavenly realms. Like, just the feeling, I can't even describe it because I have never felt that here in the physical life. Like, I have never felt that feeling of pure bliss, pure relaxation, pure, just like not a care in the world, just free. Yeah, I haven't really experienced that anywhere else but there. You know, I've been there. Yeah, as the realms, as you're in these other realms, more often than not, when people leave their body, they are just going to be in like realm one, more often than not. And realm one is tricky because this is the realm of duality, good and evil. We have the extremes playing out here. You can have your best dream, or you can live out your worst nightmare here. And quite literally, when you're out of your body, you can actually see these dreams or these nightmares, you can say, these people's dimensional spaces. So it gets a little tricky. And there's a lot of dimensional spaces and stuff, and it does take time to be able to figure out, okay, what exactly are you looking at? Am I in base reality? And I've been seeing a lot of comments saying, how do I know what I'm seeing is real and stuff? Like, well, when you've been doing this as long as I have, and you understand that there's different layers, there's thought forms, there's this, there's that, but there is a base reality, and you have to do your best to discern with an open mind what you are looking at and what you are seeing, and if this is true, especially before I come back and deliver a message to you guys, right? But there is certainly a base reality on the other side as well. An example of base reality would be realm 3, halls of Amenthi. This is a fixed place that is there. It is there. It's unchangeable. There's records and there's information there that it's undeniable. It's unchangeable. It's not me making it up. It's literally the information there, and beings there present things to you. And there's records there. Quite literally, my intro is like me sitting at the table, and there's information coming out. Like, that's literally what it felt like one time when I was there. Literally felt like I was there, and I was just receiving information from like whatever I touched. Yeah, so there's fixed spaces and stuff like that, and that's where I get a lot of my information. Things that I tell you guys is from that, for sure. Do I think we are entering disclosure time? Yeah, 100%, 100% we are. This is the year of disclosure. Next year, I believe, will be the year of contact to some of the human-looking ETs. Now, which race specifically, I don't know. It would be pretty cool if the humans from Neo Soul were among the first, right? But yeah, it's the year of disclosure. I guess, Trump just released some UFO files, and it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't going to be like the full truth, like, hey, they are definitively real. But I'd seen some posts. I don't know the validity of these posts, but I did see some. They were saying, like, I think they were just like images of some UFOs and things like that. So things are going to start slowly trickling in. It's going to be to the point where the general public, the masses don't really pick up on it or see it as undeniable proof. But for those that are in the loop, they'll see this and be like, yeah, like, I know this is true. This is 100% true. And then slowly and slowly and slowly, more of the masses will begin to wake up. It's literally like a light clicks on inside of them. When they hear the truth, when they see the truth, it's like a light clicks on inside of them, and then they can never go back into forgetfulness, because the seen can never be unseen, the remembered can never be forgotten. But that's definitely where we are and where we're headed, and I'm interested to see exactly what's going to play out the rest of this year in terms of disclosure, for sure. What are the gestures that people see during DMT trips? I don't really know. DMT, I've done DMT once when I was in college, or probably like 15 years ago. What you guys have to understand about DMT and ayahuasca and things like that, these things are still drugs. They are literally changing the way that you think. Just because you can do this and you can tap into the other side, it's literally a chemical substance that's going to alter the way that you think. This is just what it is. And so, yeah, you can access these states, but your thinking is going to be clouded for sure, because you are in an altered state of mind. It's completely different than an out-of-body experience, because in an out-of-body experience, you are completely sober. You are inside your soul form, accessing the other side, but completely sober and not messed up on a substance. So you're able to see things a lot more clear. Now, do I believe that people that take DMT, are they really contacting beings from the other realms and things like that, and higher dimensional beings? Yes, 100% they are. But are they able to really see them for their true, who they truly are? No, they are not. This is why they may just get a feeling. They're not fully there. They're like stuck inside of like the mental astral plane. Now, sometimes you are able to have an actual out-of-body experience on those, and that sensation will feel like your soul is leaving your body. But even then, you're coming from an altered state of mind. So what you see and what you interact with will not be as if you are in a completely sober out-of-body experience, for sure. But they do allow you to tap into the other realms. Can you help us understand what's the difference between lucid dreaming and outside of the body? Yeah. So a lucid dream is quite literally that. It's a dream that you become lucid in. You see, like it's a lucid dream. And when you the best way to describe this is by experience. So when I'm in a lucid dream, it's like I'm not fully there and conscious. It's like I'm 50% there and conscious. But then when I do the commands that I do, which I will command clarity now, and I'll touch my hands together. And when I touch my hands together, I will really pay attention to the physicality of my hands. And then I'll look at my hands and I'll bring myself fully there. And once you are fully inside that dream, you feel it. It's undeniable. It is undeniable. Only people that have never had this experience will ask that question. And this is not a shot. I understand it's hard to understand these things when you haven't had it. But once you have, it is an undeniable feeling once you're fully there and present in your soul form. It is undeniable. 100%. Now, in a full-blown out-of-body experience, sometimes you can be out of your body and not even know that you are out of your body. I remember in the beginning a lot when I was practicing every night, I'd have these little moments where I'd be out and I'd feel like I was going to the bathroom, like I was awake and I was just going to the bathroom. But then when I would get into the bathroom, like the light wouldn't turn on or like something weird would happen. And then I'd be like, oh, I'm outside of my body. So outside of your body quite literally feels like waking life, especially when you're in realm one. Whenever you're navigating around this realm, it feels kind of the same. And how do you know you're in and out of body? Because oftentimes than not, you're in your room. When you're in a dream, a lot of times you'll just wake up in this space in some random environment. But in an out of body, you will feel the sensation of your soul leaving your body. You will literally feel yourself getting sucked out, floating up, something of that nature, or you'll be in the vibrational stage and you will consciously leave and separate. That's how it happens majority of the time. Now, there are a few, outliers that do not occur like that, but the majority of the time you leave your body, that's what you will experience. And you will be in your room. You will see your physical body on the bed. You can touch your physical body. You can touch your hands. They will be physical. You can view real-time events. I've seen things happening in real place that like I shouldn't have been able to see. I've seen future events. I have seen, a lot of things. So you will know 100% when you're out of your body. Now, I'm actually teaching people right now how to induce lucid dreaming and then how to go from the lucid dream to a full-blown out-of-body experience, because there are distinct features that change. Like one, you'll be 100% fully there and present, no different than you watching me speak right now. It is actually even more real than this because there's more. All right. So outside of these physical bodies, these physical bodies have limitations. Your soul has no borders, boundaries, or limitations to it. So what does this mean? When you're inside of this body, you're bound to what? The five senses. Some people can perceive a sixth sense, but for the majority of us, we only are able to perceive the five senses inside of this physical body until you awaken your dormant abilities or something of that nature. But outside of your body, you are not limited to these five senses. You are not limited to the physical body. Your brain is not processing your thoughts. Your consciousness is just receiving information. So it doesn't even go through like a brain filtering process, the information that you're getting. It's like you just have it instantly. Your ears aren't processing the sound, but you can still hear. So like all those things are just physical body things that the physical body needs to have, but your soul does not need any of those things to hear, perceive, or taste. So quite literally everything opens up to you. You're not bound to the five senses. You have more, you're able to perceive with all of your senses, whatever they are, they're called. We don't even have names for these because humans don't have these, right? And there's more light as well. And more light equals more physicality, because light is also physical. So yeah, I hope that it tries to help differentiate the difference between a dream and a out of body. Now, a dream is actually similar to an out of body in the state that in the essence that your soul consciousness is literally creating a dimensional space for you to have an experience in. It's just your awareness isn't fully there. Your awareness isn't fully there. And if you remember a dream, you're typically only remembering maybe like 20 or 30% of it, you know, or something like that. And then when you're lucid, you have like about 50% awareness inside that. But when you're fully out of your body, it is 100% there, physical and real. Yeah. How did the being see me when I was in Neo Soul if I was in one state and they were physically there? Yeah, so when I was in Neo Soul, the first time I was there, it was accessing my soul record. So I was literally inside this other physical body. I was literally inside my other life. I looked at the side of the building. I was inside of another body, the other character that I played in this life, and I was just reenacting scenes of this. So it was not really, it was just scenes of my previous life that I was enacting when I was inside of this body. So of course, beings are going to speak to me and things like that. Now, when I was there in soul form, this is where it gets a little different because I don't really know. Not everybody could see me, but there were some people that could for sure. Like if I found when I'm there viewing it in real time, not everybody can see me. But when I'm there viewing a past event or something like that, I'm oftentimes in another body speaking to these people in like the form of my soul records. And that's kind of a lot how that is. Now, if I go there just blatantly, one time I was there just in my soul, not in my soul records, and I literally seen a being there that had a shirt on that said "Beyond the Ice Wall," because I was trying to talk to people and stuff, and nobody was like really talking to me. And then I seen this guy with this shirt that said "Beyond the Ice Wall," and I was like, "That's the guy I'm going to talk to. He looks like he knows something." And then I go and talk to him, and it's because beings will be there that aren't in an incarnation. So he wasn't like an incarnation. He was like one of my guides or somebody that was there to help assist me. You see, something like that. But yeah, if you're in a physical incarnation there, you're not really going to see souls. ETs do see souls, though. But the humans in Neo Soul, they can't really perceive. They're not really that advanced to perceive things. But the ETs in Realm 2 and things like that definitely can. Can I share my thoughts on disclosure? Saw 2 orbs last night. My friend, thousands of miles away, saw multiple orbs from a plane. He was taking over the Pacific. Seems very prevalent. Yeah, 100%. I remember, when was this? Like a year ago. There was tons of orbs coming out. They were calling them drones. There were like tons of drones. Now, the drones were definitely military crafts. They were not UFOs, but the orbs that we were seeing is actually some of these beings from the higher realm starting to materialize here. That's the form that they take. They take the form of light because they're so high vibrational. When they first show up in this realm, they take the form of light. So they will appear as an orb. Now, as your vibration raises and their vibration continues to lower to meet us, these orbs will actually begin to appear physical. You see, so like they're bleeding through to this realm now. And when they're bleeding through, they appear as light because the vibration of us and them is still so different. We can only perceive it as light. But as our vibration continues to rise and their vibration continues to drop, or match ours, I would say it's not really like they're dropping because they're still high vibrational, but as soon as it begins to match ours, they will actually appear physical. A lot of the orbs that we seen last year were actually like the angels beginning to materialize here. That's kind of what that is. So yeah, disclosure is happening, and that's what I call the blending of the realms. The blending of the realms. As things start to open up here, beings will start to come here. Some of them already are here. And as our frequency begins to rise, we will then be able to perceive more of the light spectrum. So we will actually be able to perceive more of the other side. Yeah. We touched on this one already. If humans cannot see you during your OBE, how come people from another place in realm 1 could see me? I believe I was on the other side of the ice wall. So that's where things get a little funny, man, because, all right, so when you're out of your body, humans are not going to see you. Kids can see you, dogs can see you, and cats can see you. Sometimes, not even every cat, not even every dog, not even every kid can see you. But some of them are. If you're more in tune with the other side, you're going to be able to perceive things around you. This is where imaginary friends come in. This is, where your dog might just start freaking out of nowhere. It's because he's seeing another being, right? Now, as humans raise their frequency, they'll be able to tap in more and more. So we will begin to be able to see these things. Well, on the other side of the ice wall, you have to understand that philosophy, enlightenment is held in a very high regard. So they still come in forgetfulness, but there are people there that are able to perceive. That's like who I believe the guy that I met with the Beyond the Ice Wall shirt. Like there are people that are able to perceive higher beings and entities. Not everybody will, though. Some people are still in forgetfulness. It's kind of just like here in that sense. Like if you asked, a random person in New York City, they're not going to know everything. But if you ask somebody that's actually walking this path, they may know a little bit more, so it's kind of like that. Now, beyond the ice wall, there are ETs there. There are actual, extraterrestrials there for sure. And they will be able to see your soul. Now, the humans there, not every human will be able to, but to say that all of them can't, they are certainly more advanced than us. So yeah, they definitely, some of them definitely are in tune and definitely can see. Yeah, for sure. Question: any advice if one is often out of body in one's room dealing with entities that are seemingly hindering entering higher realms? Why would you believe they're hindering you? Because nothing can hinder you. If you desire something, you can achieve it. You have to desire it. The will of your soul must want to carry you there, and you will be there. Nothing can stop you. You can just say like, "What? No, get out of my way. This is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going." You kind of have to stand in your ultimate authority at that point, even if somebody did try to stop you. Like, what? No, this is what I'm accessing. Yeah. What happens if a person doesn't complete their mission in your life? Well, it will weigh heavy on your soul. Now, a lot of these questions, there are gray areas, there are outliers. So for the most part, I will be answering these as just a general, for the majority's sake, right? So say you come here and you didn't fulfill what you set out to fulfill. When you pass over and you have your life review, things will weigh heavier on your soul and you will want to come back. Maybe you want to come back because you want to experience what it's like to just be a father, That's enough to fuel you to come back. Maybe, but that's 9 times out of 10 what will happen if you don't do what you wanted to do here. You're going to want to come back to do those things. Have I been to Asgard? No. I thought I did at one point. So Asgard, I don't know if Asgard's a real. The closest thing to Asgard would probably be like Realm 9, the godly realm. Now, I thought I was there one time, but ultimately, I think I was just in a time period where everything was open. it gets confusing, because I think I was just in a time period where everything was open, because there were like these godly beings roaming around, but there was also like human-like people. There was also like Anunnaki people. So I believe I was accessing like a time when everything was open. But yeah, yeah, Asgard would be like the godly realm, realm 9. Can you create another soul when you merge with another person? No. Souls cannot be created nor destroyed. We just always were. The illusion of birth in a soul can be experienced here on earth. We have the illusion of creating another soul here. That idea only exists here. The idea of even creating something new only exists here, because all that ever was, is, and will be already exists. The idea of something new, that something new can exist, really exists here. I know that's also a paradox, because you can create new constructs and things on the other side as well. It's a little bit of a paradox, but that sensation of birthing a new soul or something like that, that only exists here when you give birth to a baby or something like that. But on the other side, you're not birthing another soul. If one is seeing people that are at that point asleep on the physical plane, what expression of those people are we seeing? I'm not fully understanding that. So if you're seeing people when they're sleeping, you're going to see them sleeping. I will say sometimes when I'm out of my body, and I will see people floating above, their body, kind of just dormant, like if there's, when you're unconscious, when your consciousness goes offline, when you go to sleep and you enter deep sleep, sometimes your soul will just be like floating above your body. I have seen that. If that's what you mean, or if you mean if you see them outside of your body in their sleep, you're kind of seeing them just unconscious, just like not fully there, kind of like a zombie or something. Oh, hey, Ann. Can I confirm if she's had an astral projection? She woke up in bedroom, eyes closed, and was aware of myself and something light and floaty left body, and went to bathroom and mega aware. Woke up in bedroom, eyes closed, and was aware of myself and something light and floaty. It's hard to say exactly. There's not a lot, but yeah, it sounds. If you were sleeping and you wake up and you feel yourself being light and you're floating out of your body and you're very aware, yeah, it 100% sounds like an out-of-body experience to me, for sure. Who are reliable sources of information on Pleiadians and other beings that you know of? Hey, Daisy. Reliable sources of information on Pleiadians. I don't know, because for a long time I stopped listening to anybody here on Earth. I just recently started, seeing some clips of Bashar speaking and things like that, and I was like, oh, it's actually pretty in alignment. It's just said in a way that confuses people. But yeah, but Pleiadians, I don't know. I don't know who's contacting them, and it's legit. I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Or an out-of-body explorer that says that they contacted them, they'll probably be your best bet. Or leave your body yourself and contact them directly. That would be your best bet for sure, because even in the spiritual community, when you listen to people, there's a lot of deception. Even if it's not intentional deception, it is perceived incorrectly by the human brain and then therefore delivered incorrectly. You see, but when you're having an out-of-body experience for yourself, you're downloading the information in soul form without the brain processing the information, and you're actually able to bring back more of it in without the human mind messing it up. You see, so like the out-of-body experience is like the number one way to contact, get information, and things like that, because even And especially when you're channeling higher beings, the information comes from such a higher place than us. A lot of times they do their best to give accurate information in our human terms and information, but sometimes it comes in off or in a way where it's hard for humans to understand, or it's not packaged in a great way. Yeah, so I would say, direct experience triumphs everything, because what I am about is stop leaning and looking for answers outside of yourself. Stop looking for somebody else to tell you something. You can do this yourself. You can leave your body and get all the answers you seek yourself, and therefore there is no doubt. You're not looking for a reliable source, because you actually are out. You are the reliable source at that point. Is there evil beyond this construct? No. No. The earliest place that I have seen evil, or where that could even exist, the idea of evil, where the concept of evil could even exist, is in these lower realms where you start entering duality. You see? So no, I'm going to say no. Is the thought of separation what keeps us separate from the all? Yeah, you could certainly say that, because separation is an illusion. But I can also say, this whole experience can theoretically be an illusion, but does it really make it real? To free your mind and access these states in the physical and feel that connectedness, that oneness, it really takes stepping outside of your logical mind and just feeling things. Like I oftentimes will practice letting my mind surf and controlling my thoughts, seeing what's my imagination and then what's an actual thought. And I just try to catch it and let it surf. And when you can catch your imagination just wandering, and that's more close to the other side. That's more close to, our natural state. So if you can catch that, there's meditation techniques. And I'm going to be teaching this in the Alchemy one-on-one course that I have coming up. How to do that. That's like a starting point, is to be able to figure out what's really going on in your head and the thoughts and stuff like that, and how to control those. But yeah, it's kind of hard to explain here on the spot, but yeah, I would say yes, in a sense, yes. Hey man, I've heard you and Derry speak of the construct ending soon. Does this include the entire construct, or just a duality of this reality? Yeah, so I don't know what he's speaking of, but what I speak of is everything is going to quite literally, when I say it's going to be ending, it's the illusion that we are in is going to end. We are going to be able to perceive more, where it's actually going to blend and everything's going to open up in that aspect. You see? So this human life, this human matrix that we are in, living in forgetfulness, that will end. You can think of it like that. And it will quite literally be as if like it's heaven on earth, and everything will open up. All information will be revealed. We will remember again, and everything will open up. That's more so like the game is over. All right. Like that's more so what I mean. But it's still going to exist. Like this construct will still exist. The realms will still exist. It's not going to cease to exist. It's just like the game is over. Everything's opened up now. Hello, what is my end game goal? My end game goal is to reach as many people as possible and have heaven on earth again, essentially, not to sound too cliche or too biblical, but yeah, like let's get this ending. Let's You know, teaches many people everything that I know, teaches many people as possible how to leave their body and access this theirself, how it teaches many people things that I've learned from the other side, teaches many people the truth as possible. And then those people can teach people, you know, and spread it like wildfire. What are my thoughts on Amy Eskridge, the missing anti-gravity scientist that spoke on the ultra-terrestrials, humans coming here from thousands of years in the future? I've never heard of her or anything of that nature. I really don't look up in anything here on Earth really too much. I just started, I just read another Out-of-Body Travelers book, William Bowman. Like, I just did that a couple months ago. So, like, I don't, especially if it's somebody that's not leaving their body, that is not just like on the level of consciousness that I'm on. Like, I'm not listening to them or anything that they say. You know, I'm just not. I just do it myself and leave and get information. So yeah, I don't know. It says, I've been lucid dreaming lately. Could I visit realms through lucid dreaming? No, but if you're lucid dreaming, you can certainly command clarity, touch your hands, and you can leave your body that way. You can leave your body that way. That's what we worked on during week 1 of the 4-week activation. Yeah. Can you explain the difference in feeling of lucid dreaming, astral, and OBE? Yeah, so lucid dreaming, you're going to feel like you're inside of a dream, but you just know you're dreaming. Astral projection, you're going to be aware that you're outside of your body, but you're not going to be aware of. Now it's different for me. Like, if I'm in an astral projection state, I'm going to turn it to a full-blown out-of-body experience. But if you don't know the difference between the two and you're just in an astral projection state, you're just kind of going to be surfing through your consciousness, like just going to places, looking at places. You're not going to be fully integrated to the other side of the light spectrum, so things will appear hazy or dark. Sometimes they're not going to appear as clear. You can still see beings as light, not really physical. It's going to be hard to travel anywhere besides Earth or the ET spaces. You know, sometimes you can travel to realm 2 in an astral projection state, and this is where people will say, oh yeah, I went to this other planet and stuff like that. Well, that's in an oh, did I freeze? Am I good? Yeah, well, that's in like in an astral projection state. That's not a full-blown out-of-body experience. When you're in a full-blown out-of-body experience, it is 100% real and physical, more real than here. You're going to be speaking with a lot of you're in your eternal aspect of yourself at that point. You know, it's just a completely different feeling entirely. It is 100% more real than here, and everything. There is no doubt in your mind that you are there. Yeah. How far back is creation? What creation are you talking about? You talking about this creation, the creation of this universe? How far back? I don't know. If you're talking about the earthly realm, where we are, not that long ago. The history that they're talking about with all these thousands and thousands of years, millions of years ago, is the other realms and stuff. This creation, I don't even believe this creation went back that long in human years. That's my current understanding. It might be what the freaking Bible says, 6,000 years. It really might be that. It's more in alignment with things that I've seen. Which portal takes one out of the entire construct? What's up, Tom? Thank you for that. So a definitive one that I know would be the 12th Stargate. The 12th Stargate would do that. The 12th Stargate, the 12th core. That's a definitive one. But ultimately, you can go with just setting your intention to do so and being taken out. Yeah. Is the earth conscious or soul being? No. I'm gonna say no. Everything here, when even food, when they say like it's good to say a blessing over food and stuff like that, it's not because it's conscious. It's because it has an electrical and magnetic charge, and our voice and our intention can influence the electrical and magnetic charges of these substances and things like that. So I see things as, for what they are. Some people can say it's conscious, but it's not really that. It's just electrical, magnetic impulses curated by, Now, is it alive in the sense that the vegetation here is alive? The grass and the trees are alive? Yeah, 100%. But in essence, like the actual earth is just like a substance. No, it's not. But the things on it are alive. But organic life is also fake. Like all organic life is fake because it dies. Only things that are real, if it's real, it will never die. If it's really real, it will never die. Like your soul is real. You will never die. Things die here. So everything is never really real. So it's definitely not a soul being, for sure. It's definitely a place. But only things that are real never die. I know it's hard to grasp, but that's very true. If I have any knowledge, can I talk about the Tartarian Empire? Yeah, Tartarian Empire was very real. It's very true. Yeah, I believe that's what was here before the mud floods. My current understanding is there was two major resets. One was the Great Flood that's spoken about in the Bible and things like that. The next reset was the mud flood, and that one happened a lot closer than we think. That one happened in like 1800s or 1700s or 1800s. Like that was when the last reset happened, for sure. And I don't have an exact date, but around that time. And the Tartarian Empire, it's still here. Like the Russian palaces that you see, a lot of the old Capitol buildings in America, they're all part of the old Tartaria. And that's why those buildings were founded. They say founded in 18 whatever. They were founded. That was part of the Tartarian Empire. Yeah. When we dream, is it experiencing a different realm? No, I would say your dream is your own thought forms majority of the time. Now, is every dream this? No, some people have dreams that are like remembering out-of-body experiences. But more often than not, your dream is going to be your own dimensional space or your own thought form. It's going to be your soul, because our thoughts manifest instantly, and we're able to create spaces to have experiences in this construct and outside of this construct, as above, so below, in all facets, right? So what's going on when you're dreaming is your soul is literally creating a dimensional space for you to have a temporary experience in while your consciousness is asleep in this human life, because souls do not sleep. So it's kind of just on autopilot. And this is why your subconscious thoughts will often play out, because it's things that are buried deep in you, things that you're not consciously creating. So it's just things that are underlying issues, underlying beliefs, underlying themes in your life that are playing out. But it is, a real space on the other side that is created for you to have a dream in. Yeah, but when I say the other side, don't think of it like somewhere else, because every space and time are all illusions. Everything is here right now. It's just an illusion separated by frequency. So it's kind of hard to explain, but I would say that it's you experiencing your own thought forms. What's the difference between remote viewing and the out-of-body experience? Yeah, so remote viewing, the way a lot of people call it, is literally like you don't have to be sleeping. Your body doesn't have to be shut down. You're just like taking your consciousness out and like perceiving things. It's like your sixth sense that we all have. Like an example of this is you can sit and think, enter a meditative state. You do have to enter like a deep meditative state, but like I've done this before, and I've looked through a straw in my mind and looked at a piece of paper, and I was able to see what was on that piece of paper. Like, that's remote viewing. It's not as correct all time. Oftentimes it's hard to make out what you're seeing and trust in it, but that's remote viewing. And out-of-body experiences, you are physically out in your soul form having an experience. It's a lot different. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Her question is, have I experienced, or can I help her understand the experience? Her breath became more. Suddenly I was part of a blob of color that moved as she breathed in and out. I'm not so sure. Sorry. I wish I could help you with that more. I'm not too sure what was going on there. There's context that you need, like what were you doing? What were you experiencing? Were you trying to leave your body? What did it feel like? Things like that. Oh, thank you. Again, frequent OBEs mean the spirit is less attached here. The healer said part of my spirit was sticking out as it wanted to leave. Is it related? All right. Don't listen to. If your healer has never left their body and fully understands the other side, like the way I speak of it, or the way that somebody frequently leaves speaks of it, don't believe them. They're going to have fear-based narratives attached to it because they haven't been there themselves. More often than not. Sometimes healers, they are pretty good and spot on and have no fear, but oftentimes they're going to have fear-based narratives attached to these things. But no, frequent OB does not mean the spirit is less attached here. I would say it means more. Every time I come back from an out-of-body experience, more of my soul frequency comes back into the physical as well. That's not true at all. So if you want to leave, he may be speaking like, yeah, you want to leave. That's your urge. That's your desire, was to leave, but there's nothing wrong with that because you can always come back, So yeah, I don't even have no fear of that at all or anything like that. That's coming from somebody that doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, I would say. Is there a hole at the North Pole and water comes in and out, and that's why we have tides? No, I don't know why we have tides and stuff, but there is a hole in the North Pole, at least. I don't know if it's really physically there here, but I know like in the foundation of this place, there certainly is a hole. I haven't seen it physically here. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't know if the hole is physically there now, but I want to say yes, there is, because this is where the theory of Hyperborea comes from, inner worlds, inner earths and stuff like that, because beings were coming up through the portal there. That is literally a portal, because that's where the core is. The cores are portals, and they come up through that hole. And yeah, I would say yeah. Do I know of a place called Summerland, supposedly under us, where the black sun is? Their sun is above, so below. Are there people living? No, I haven't heard of that. Is there people living in the land of the black sun? No, I don't believe so. Now, if there's a black sun above this plane, sure, but it's not as above, so below. Like, there's not people here and then people underneath us living. That's not what that means. But no. Do some people or organizations see out-of-body explorers as a threat? Visiting places, remote viewing ability? Yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, look what's happening. But the government's been doing this forever. They were using this to spy on people. During which war was it? I want to say they were using it to spy on the Russians during like the Cold War. Man, they were, they try to keep it under wraps, like, but yeah, everybody can do this. And it is a threat to their control structures and systems for sure, but it's just the truth. Like, we exist outside of here, undeniably. Like, stop lying to people. Stop lying to people telling us that we don't know what happens when we die. We clearly do. Stop lying to us about everything. So yeah, it's definitely a threat to the control system, for sure. All right, Tonio, we're gonna skip that because that's not what this is about at all. Like, get out of here with that mindset. Have you been able to go to the sun from an OBE? If so, from your experience, where does that portal lead to? I haven't gone through the sun yet. In my out of body experience, I don't know, but I do know it's a portal. Yeah, that's a good question. I'd have to figure that out. Did we know pre-birth Earth that we would be in a society based on lies at every turn, political, religious, food, body lies with limitations? Yeah, I did. That's why it makes me angry, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, yeah, that for a lot of souls here, that's what fuels you to come here, to make the change, to be a part of the change of the Great Awakening. Yeah, so we do know what's going on here, 100%. Now, if you're just in an unconscious loop, if you're just constantly just a human, and you're getting reincarnated, and you're not really stepping back into your full authority and all that necessarily, no, you're just going to come back on a loop, on a loop, on a loop. But if you were a free sovereign soul, like many of us are, all of us are outside of here, when you're outside of these matrices, don't let this put anybody in fear or anything. But yeah, 100%, like I knew 100% before this life what I was coming, what I was getting into, and what I was coming to help do and help change. Yeah. My first OBE, I was turning around to look at myself on the bed. I heard a voice say, "Don't look back." Was that my soul speaking? Yeah, I don't know. It might have been your head or your soul, yeah, telling you, like, don't look back, just keep going, because if you look back, you might have came back to your body or something like that. But yeah, I'd have to ask you, what did it feel like to you? Did it feel like it was your soul? Did it feel like somebody else? Because oftentimes in these spaces, your first feeling before you put your logical thought behind it is often true. And I would say go with that. Does the universe think we deserve to suffer? No. So all suffering is really an illusion anyways. Like, you're only suffering here in this human life because you have attachments. Buddha taught us that. You see, there's no reason to recreate the wheel. If it's already been said or talked about, and if it's the truth, it is. So the root of all suffering is attachments. Once you come here, it's not really suffering. It's only suffering because you believe it should be something, or you believe it should be this, or you believe it should be that. That's what causes your suffering. But ultimately, there is pain, there is physical pain here, but a lot of suffering is just mental. Because even if say you have, all right, I don't like to get into this because everybody's mind state and consciousness is different, but no, the universe does not believe that you need to suffer, my friend. What realm was created first of the 12? 12. The 12th. The 12th was. Have you had any encounters with an 𝗥 I've only had one experience where I was taken above the construct with 𝗕𝗲𝗄𝗏, but I haven't been able to have a repeat experience. No, I've never heard of that. Yeah, I don't know. But, congratulations if that's what you did, for sure. Amazing. All right. Let's get another one. All right. Is there people living? Oh, yeah, we already did that. Is reincarnation a trap as called by Gnostics? What do you mean by reincarnation a trap? like is reincarnation a trap? What I will say about reincarnation is, if you believe that you need to be reincarnated, then so it will happen. Once you become aware and wake up to the fact that you don't have to be, it's not a thing. It's just not. All right, let's do this one from 𝗕𝗲𝗘 because she paid for this. So let's make sure we get her. Hello, are you considering of doing a live guided OBE session for your subscribers? Thank you. No, that's not really something that I would do, but I was gonna do some guided meditations and things and post them on my website for people and things like that. But a live guided OBE session, no. I was considering doing retreats here in Bali for people, but a live guided session like on YouTube or something, no, probably not that. One more question. Some researchers point that our sun is actually just above our fitment and millions of light distance away, like the fake narrative being pushed. The sun is 100% inside of this creation, inside of this firmament. 100%. 100%. And they know this. Let me show this to you. All right, so this is what this place looks like. All right, so this is what this place looks like. Let me see here. So we have a flat plane of existence. We have a firmament. We have a black sun. From the black sun, energy comes up from the firmament. It also bounces off the top and comes down. This is where you have the sun, and this is where you have the moon. The moon and sun get locked in this orbit around this place. And what does this symbol look like? It looks like the Freemason symbol, you see? So yeah, they know this. Researchers, they use their logical brain, and they are only shown what they are taught. I know, I used to be, an engineer, and an engineer, we're only taught, okay, if this is true, if this mathematical equation is true, which it is because the math checks out, then base your theories on this. That's all it is okay, you're taught something and it works out, and you base all of your theories and calculations off of that. That's all it is. All researchers, that's all it is they're told some information and they research other information that people have, and they come to conclusions off of that. But is that information true? No, it's not. I can make a calculation right now that's completely both BS. I can make a calculation right now that's completely BS, that I could say why this microphone is here right now, and just because the math checks out in science, that would theoretically be true, but it's not. The mic is here right now because of density and magnetism. What are meteorites? Because space is supposed to water of different density states. What are meteorites? I don't know what meteorites are. Yeah, I don't know. That I don't know, my friend. Is it easier to have an OBE at night when I go to bed or during the day? So it's definitely easier at night when you go to bed, because you do have to be in a deep state of rest to enter this. I have seen my most success recently, though. I used to do it every night when I would just go to bed. Like every night I'd be leaving when I would go to bed, when I would first go to bed. But recently, since I've been in Bali, I've been trying to leave like during the middle of the night. Like if I wake up all night, like I will try at first when I first go to bed, probably for like 30 or 45 minutes, probably for like 30 or 45 minutes. And then I'll just go to sleep, setting my strong intentions and things like that. And then when I wake up in the middle of the night, leaving my body will be on my mind, and I will then leave. Like as soon as I wake up, because like I'm in that sleepy state, I'll be like, oh yeah, let me leave my body. And then I'll just think about a dream, and then like I'll just kind of like float out. Yeah, so that's easiest for me. Or if you're in an opportunity, when I first came to Bali, I would wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning because I was going to sleep early. I'd work for like 3 or 4 hours on videos or one-on-ones, and then I would go back to sleep, and then I would leave then, So I know the wake back to bed method is like go to sleep for 46 hours, wake up for 20 minutes, and then go back to bed. But that shit was working for me after like I wake up for like 3 or 4 hours and then go back to bed, and I seen success there too. But yeah, it's any time. So I guess that would be considered like a midday nap. So to answer your question, it can be easiest at any point at any time. Yeah. Will I be offering courses on thought control or OBEs? Yeah, so I already pretty much I already pretty much have courses on OBEs. Like I'm doing a 4-week activation now on my website. There's how to leave your body presentations there. But on thought control, that's part of alchemy, because true alchemy is mastery of the physical plane, the mental plane, and the astral plane. So thought control is a part of that. So yeah, that's coming up. I'm getting into that. I believe the first one is May 24th, and that is going to be a start of an entire new course. So Beyond the Veil teaches out of bodies, and then alchemy will be teaching. Beyond the Veil teaches out of bodies and things on the other side, and then the alchemy section will teach thought control, how to manipulate your environment, how real alchemy, real 100% alchemy, and that's for people that take it serious, for sure. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing. All right, let's get to this guy because he's super chatted it, I believe. Let's make sure. They probably do this because they want it to go up top. So where on Earth are frequency the highest? On Earth, the frequency the highest. Okay, so you have to understand that this entire realm is in one frequency band, where there's like a certain amount of frequency that this realm operates within. Now, the highest frequency places that I have seen is probably this place of the world that I'm in, like the Bali down to like Australia. Like this is a high frequency space, and I found this out when I was leaving my body here, and I was like, damn, vibration was crazy high here. So I would say that. I would say here, like what is this like? I don't know, what is it called? Southwest, Southeast Pacific, something like that. Yeah, it's a pretty high place. Is it true the sun is the portal that souls use to enter Earth? I wouldn't say that. My memory of entering Earth was like you come in through water and then you're just like in Earth. Yeah, I would say that. I wouldn't say that. What is a beautiful experience you can share you had seeing a past life in an OBE? Yeah, so past life with an OBE. So I haven't seen any like earthly past lives of mine. Like in this place, these 6 continents that we are in now, I haven't seen not one. I'm not saying I haven't been here before, but I don't know. I haven't seen it. It's not in my recollection or my memory. But past lives, if I've been in Neo Soul, I've shared that one many times, and I've shared publicly the past life that I seen of mine in Realm 2. But yeah, past lives in the one that you're thinking of is like a human past life. I haven't seen that. as like the human lives that we are living right now, like I haven't seen one of mine here. What's my opinion on reality shifting? Unlike astral projection, people who do it say you wake up in another reality body. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I remember that. I remember when I was getting into this, I was like, "Oh, reality shift! Like I'm gonna take a hot shower and focus on shifting my reality." This shit don't work. No, but what the, it's you're not gonna wake up consciously in another body or another reality. Or wait, what are you talking about? So are you talking about shifting reality like you would wake up in another body or a life like outside of Earth? Yeah, so that's kind of like an out of body experience. That's kind of what it's like when I view my soul records. I don't wake up in another body, but like I have an experience, and at one point and another, I transform into this other body, and I have another experience. So I would say, that I would say that certainly helps. I would say it's a real experience for sure. If they're waking up in another reality or body, I would say it's real. It's like another out of body experience for sure. Yeah, I would say that. Why did God give us amnesia and no guidebook to being human? Why why the abstract teaching method where everything matters but ultimately it doesn't? So God did not give us amnesia. This creation, the souls that created this creation, it was designed this way. And it was designed this way for a good reason. Because if we did not have amnesia, we would not have the whole human experience. And this human experience adds so much to our soul because when you are an almighty being and all you know is complete bliss and almighty power, you don't know, you're not even going to be able to appreciate your true divinity. If you were just a god up in all the time, having all these powers, right? You would never even be able to appreciate what you have because you don't even know what it's like to not have it. So when you come in here in forgetfulness to being a human, now you're able to and then once you get out of this life and you go back to the other side, it's the greatest contrast ever. That moment where you leave this life and you go back, that's the greatest moment experience anybody can ever experience. I'm telling you, when you leave in an out of body experience or anything of that nature, it is the most magnificent thing to shift from this low vibration and forgetfulness to there. You have so much more appreciation for your divinity. And also when you haven't been a human, souls interact very weird. Like very weird. Like it's weird to me because I've been a human, so like if you run into a soul that has never been a human, they are not communicating like intellect. Like it's a different thing for sure. I will say that it's a different type of thing. um or even inside of this construct. Now, you have to also understand that this creation is not bad. This creation is very beautiful. It's very good. We're so identified with these human bodies that we feel trapped, and we get so accustomed to the pain and the suffering. You have to understand that all of this is temporary. And in all actuality, you are always 100% okay, because guess what? When this is all over, you go back. It's literally like we're inside of a video game. It's like you're playing, imagine, I don't know, like Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty, and your character dies. Yeah, it may hurt because you may be attached to that character. It only hurts when you're attached to that character. But really, you're the one playing the game. You are fine. You see? So if you're playing a video game and your character dies in that video game, you're still fine. But it only hurts you if you are mentally attached or emotionally attached to that character. That's the only time it hurts. It's literally quite like that. So it's not, this creation isn't bad. It's totally it's an amazing creation. And the amnesia only came into play. So when I'm talking about creation, you have to understand that, okay, so let's see here. So, all right, so this creation, there's levels to it, right? There's levels, there's realms in here, right? There's realms. So we'll go like this. This is just how I like to draw it. There's realms. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Realistically, this goes all the way up to 12. But realm 12, the restrictions are really light. I don't even know if souls really gather there for an experience. But as you get lower into these realms, forgetfulness comes into play here. So there's tons of other realms, or there's tons of other realms where you're not in forgetfulness. I want to say forgetfulness may still appear in realm 3, but it's not. But you're not really born in the realm 3. I don't know. Forgetfulness may come into play here. Let's say here, not 2. Let's say here, because I believe what I was experiencing was when everything was open. So I believe forgetfulness comes into play here. Realm 3 and above. So there's a much other realms higher than that are not in forgetfulness, and it's like bliss. The Garden of Eden is there, like literally heaven. The heavenly realms is inside of this creation, So it's not bad. And then you come into this one little realm for a human experience that is actually very temporary. And it happens. Even when I leave my body, I can still get caught up in this daily life and perceive it as bad and get stuck. And it happens all the time. It can happen when you're having conversations with people, and it puts your mind in a different state and things like that. But if the more you can work on freeing your mind, you literally will free your soul, and you will end all your pain and suffering here. The more you attach with this physical body and you see this as reality, the harder time you're going to have here. Understand that this is quite literally like a game in that aspect. And I say game loosely because life is still very real. Like, it's still very real. Real things are happening. It's still real events and stuff. And, things are traumatic for people. But the more you attach to this, the harder it's going to be, But the more you realize that this is not base reality, and it's hard to really understand that and grasp that until you experience it for yourself, And that's what I feel is so great about the out-of-body experience, because all these other teachings, I don't care what teaching it is. It's only a belief system, and it's like you really have to believe what you're saying. But once you have an out-of-body experience, beyond a shadow of a doubt that you exist beyond here. The other side is real, and this whole life is very temporary. I promise you, when you have a life, you'll be like, man, this was so temporary. Like, it was so quick. Like, your life feels like it goes by so quick when you're outside of here. All of my lifetimes that I've remembered felt like they went by very quick. So it's a very temporary experience. I know it feels long now when we're here in the moment, but I can promise you for 100% certainty that once you get out of here, this will feel like it went by in a blink of an eye, and everything will be okay. I promise. We got that one already, Prop. Well, good job. If someone experiences major health issues, is it something we chose to experience? Yes and no. You can create a bad health experience just based off of your belief structure and your belief systems. If you believe there's something that you need to heal all the time, you can create that yourself. Now, is that part of the plan always? No. You can just be creating that yourself. But there is certainly people that do want to experience something. I would say that's more so along the lines of, let me experience what it's like You all right? So I'm coming into the realm of limitations. All right. Let me experience a real limitation. Let me experience limitations inside the limitations. Let me experience what it's like to be paralyzed. Let me experience what it's like to, something like that. Yeah, for sure. I think I had a faint memory of remembering seeing puddles as a small child. Was I remember what I saw? Yeah, very well could be. Yeah, it very well could be that, man. Really, very well could be. Yeah. 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 Is Bali a high frequency place? Are there high frequency places around the earth? Pyramids, old churches, etc. Yeah. So there is a grid line here. I forget what it's called because I'm on the spot, but there is a grid line here. So one of the parallel lines. And if you go around the world, there is pyramids on that. That has to do with the structure of this place because the magnetic field generated by the core is heightened there. So yeah, that's a high frequency place. And this area of the world, by like Bali and Australia, is very high frequency as well because there's portals here. There's a lot of stuff. This is a very high, but there's this is not the only high frequency place on the planet. There are other high frequency places as well. Like Peru was a Machu Picchu was a high frequency place. Basically, and where we set up the pyramids, those are all high frequency places as well. I was in my car in the morning for work, took a nap, but soon I closed my eyes and reopened them. I was literally standing in my bedroom. I was so confused. I was literally, yeah, that could be. Yeah, if you took a nap and you wake up somewhere, yeah, that's like an out of body experience, like an instant out of body experience. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, my friend. Yes. Am I ever gonna have Fabian back on? Did he ever see his dad again? Yeah, I'll have him back on for sure. Did he ever see his dad again? No, I don't believe he's seen his dad again, but he has had some experiences that he's told me about. Yeah, I'd have him back on. Regarding the Earth, is it possible that the OBE we perceive it a certain way, but in the physical is truly round and all the laws of physics are real? How can all countries be lying about it? Yeah, this was hard for me to grasp too, man. I remember when I was first getting into this. So when I was leaving my body, before I left my body, I was open to the fact that flat Earth was real because I remember seeing stuff about it like, oh, these guys are retarded. Like, what are they talking about? These guys are absolutely idiots. Like, of course space is real. But then as you really look into it, there will be things that will shock you and be like, that's just undeniable. Like, things for me was the fiber optic cables connecting the continents. And I thought, well, Wi-Fi connection with satellites. And then you look and you Google satellites in space. There's not one image of a satellite in space. If satellites were in space and they could capture all, and they had the photo ability to capture images on Earth, they would be able to at least capture another satellite in space as well. And there's not one photo of that. Fiber optic cables is where we get our Wi-Fi from. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's not possible that it's. I used to think too, like, okay, well, maybe just out of your body it's flat, but then when you're in a human, you perceive it as 3D because we are in the 3D. No, that's not it either. I used to think that though. So I know where you're coming from. I used to think that too, but no, that's not it because guess what? The other side is also 3D. they spirituality did a crazy thing saying this is 3D because everything is 3D. The reason why we can't imagine what a fourth dimension would look like, which is that tesseract, is because it doesn't exist. That's why we can't imagine it because it doesn't exist. Everything is 3D, but it is 100% flat with a firmament above it. We can't break it. Operation Fishbowl, Operation High Jump. These are real operations. It's Admiral Byrd really went beyond there. Like, these are real people, real accounts That really happened. This is just truth. Now, how can all countries be lying about it? Because they're all part of the control structure. Like, and not every country, like Indonesia doesn't have a space agency. Like, they're not flying to space. African countries aren't flying to space. Think about people that have space agencies: China, Russia, Europe, and America. The four major control structures of these six continents. You see? So yeah, they can lie about it for sure. And they always lie about stuff that we can't prove. Like, they try to hide us cutting down the trees, the big trees that was part of the Great Flood, cutting down the trees. They tell us these mountains formed over millions of years ago through tectonics colliding and pushing up the edge of the earth. When you look at it, it's literally just a cut down tree, right? And we can't prove that because we can't go back in time millions of years. They lie about space because the average human is not going to space. They're not going there. So there's no way for you to debunk it. You see? So yeah. How can one tell the difference between spiritual expansion and spiritual escape? Oh, that's a good question. Well, it's a feeling. Only you can know that. Like, are you truly trying to escape, or are you trying to expand your mind and your consciousness? That's an inner shift for you. You just have to feel it and be honest with yourself. Like, what is your true feeling behind? Like, do you truly believe that and you have to be honest. Are you trying to escape, or are you trying to expand? You just have to be honest with yourself. I would say that, yeah. Get that out of here. We're not doing that. A reality check question. In a hyper-real environment, if the five senses, smell, touch, sight, are perfectly simulated, what is the diagnostic tool that never fails to reveal the dream state? In a hyper-real environment. All right. So you will realize that you are in a dream. You will instantly know. It's like, once you do a reality check inside of a dream, there's so many telltale signs that you are in a dream, because you'd be like, oh, I've been talking to this person and it just changed who he was 5 times. Like, there's so many different things beyond just 5 senses that signal it's a dream. Background sensations, background. There's so much. You just know. Like, you instantly know as soon as you do a reality check inside of a dream. You will just know. I hear what you're saying. Oh, what's up, man? Oh, this is Mario. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, what's up, man? So yeah, you will know. It's like, I hear what you're saying, but there's other signs in the dream that will make you know what it is, more than just, touch, taste, hear. You will know. Things won't be lining up and you'll be like, oh yeah, obviously I'm in a dream. Oh, what's up, my man? If sleep paralysis is the gateway to the other side, then what do you make of those who are paralyzed either from birth or by accident? OBE will come easy to them? Your take? I hear you, but I wouldn't say sleep paralysis is the gateway. I would say sleep paralysis is a gateway. It's not the only gateway, but it is a gateway. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a good question, but it's not just physical paralysis. Your brain also has to be in a delta state to, like, shut off. So, like, if your brain is hyperactive, I'm gonna say you're not able to leave. But if that person were to practice a deep meditative state, I would probably say, yeah, in theory, it'd probably be pretty easy for them. Could be a superpower. What's the longest you've seen someone practice before finally having an OB without having predisposition to natural sleep paralysis? Are you talking about one time, like how long were they laying still until they achieved sleep paralysis, or until how many days have they, or like how long time wise, like have they been practicing for? I've seen people practice, they never have had it the whole for 2 or 3 years, never have achieved an OBE. Now are they trying actively? Are they trying 100%, giving 100% effort? Are they fully relaxing their mind? I'm going to say no, because an out-of-body experience is very possible for every single person watching this right now. All you have to do is lay still long enough until you hit sleep paralysis. If you do that, you will have an out-of-body experience. The reason why it doesn't happen is because you give up early. You give up too soon. That is a one for sure way that we can all leave our bodies. We can all leave our bodies today. If you just literally lay still until you hit sleep paralysis, whether it's 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, if you lay still long enough, you will hit sleep paralysis eventually, and you will leave your body. And then from there you need to control things, and not be sure to get excited and lose the state and stuff like that. But you will. That's one way for sure. But people don't do it because they don't have that willpower to lay still that long. And it sounds silly because it's an easy enough thing. Literally, all you have to do is lay still. But people can't do it. Now, that's why, I'm creating other ways to leave, through lucid dreaming, commands, trying to induce it quicker, because it shouldn't be that hard. Leave accessing the other side. It shouldn't take you 7 or 8 hours to access and leave your body. It shouldn't. We should be able to do this on command, on demand, relatively quickly. And that's kind of like what I'm teaching people now, is like, okay, you want to do this, we're going to do this in the most efficient way possible. But yeah, I've seen people lay for 2 or 3 years, never have an experience, and it's all down to their willpower. Could you share an experience you've never shared before? Sure. It's hard to think about it. Like I remember 4-5 was saying, like, it's hard to remember your OBEs because you have so many, and they just but one that I've never shared before, it's hard. Like, I'd have to have somebody like trigger something for me, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I've had something similar. I was here and I was there. Well, let me think. One that I've never shared before. I have a lot. Yeah, I have a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody would have to trigger me. I don't know what I've shared, what I haven't. I'm honestly drawing a blank right now. Every time I go back, I remember the big ones that I speak about quite often. But yeah. Is marriage really a holy union? I would say it's more so if you is marriage really a holy union? If it's your intention to do so, like if the two souls really merge, yeah, it's a soul tie. Sure, you can say that here. But can you marry someone on the other side? No, you cannot. Souls aren't getting married. We're not. It's not like that. It's a completely different thing. You're so vast and infinite on the other side. You truly are. But to go back to an experience I've never had, I'll say some fun ones that I just remembered, and I think I shared this briefly with Ryan Cropper. But I've been out of my body, and I've been like in a like a car. So I'm floating out of my body. I'm floating down my house. Like, I float out through my roof. I couldn't really move. Like, I was half in sleep paralysis, half I was out of my body, but like I still really couldn't move, but I could fly. So like I was like in an astral projection state, you could say. So I'm flying through my roof, and I'm floating down, and then I'm on the ground, and I look around me, and everybody's got guns, and they're like running around playing like Call of Duty. And then somebody came to help me up, and I go to reach for his hand, and he helps me up, and I knew I was like injured in the game. So like it went from It went from being like I couldn't move because I was in sleep paralysis to, oh, I can't move because I'm literally shot. And like I was in this game, so yeah, that was a fun one that I've had that I don't think I really shared publicly too much. That's one that just popped in. Another one is, I was in, we'll just keep it at that. The ones I share publicly are shared for a reason. Have you been to a place called Isle of Sea? No, I have not. Question: are people evil? Evil doesn't really exist because there was a good. All right, what was it? There was a good way to look at this. All right, are people really evil? No, because let's look at what we consider an evil act. Let's look at murder. Would we all agree that murder could be considered an evil act? Yeah. So now, if somebody murders somebody because say you walk in and you see somebody choking your daughter to death, about to kill your daughter, and then the only way that you could stop that was quite literally to kill that person, is that evil? No, that's an act out of love. So can people really be evil? No, you cannot, because in all actuality, we all return back to our divinity at the very end. You can get lost here during doing evil stuff and all of that, sure, but are you actually evil? No, because in your natural state, we all come from love, and that's where we all return back to. Can you do some evil things? Yeah, people can do evil things, but are they actually evil? No. All right, we'll do a couple more, and then I have some prior obligations to do today, so we'll do a couple more, and then I'll get out of here. But good questions, guys. Can this realm be really detrimental to many souls? Because I heard that many souls that have passed away are usually in lower vibrational place and are confused. Yes. And no, not enough people speak about this that are in this space. Yes, 100%. And this is my number one problem with this place, why it was set up, because there was not enough safeguards in place for when people left here. And some BS answer was, oh yeah, but we all have free will. Yes, we do. But the same way that we signed up here to be in forgetfulness, we can willfully sign ourselves up to have a smooth exit process once we leave here as well, right? So that free will crap get that out of here with that answer. But yes, 100%. I believe that there was a flaw made when this creation was made, and that was one of them. It can be extremely detrimental because we are here in complete amnesia and complete forgetfulness, and we are these almighty beings. So we're constantly creating our realities for ourselves, and we are quite literally God, right? So when you take God and you put him in forgetfulness and you have him be scared and forget that he's a God, when you leave here, he's still going to be scared and forgetting he's a God. So he's going to be creating stuff, shutting things down. Boom. No, I don't want that. Trapped in his own world. Low vibrations. Yeah. Yeah, that happens. Yeah. The CIA's Mars exploration remote viewing session, 1984, described a dying civilization on Mars. And that BS. Mars is not a physical place like they say it is. The red planet, that's not it. If Mars was a physical place, it would be a place beyond the ice wall. That's where they're talking about or trying to go. I don't even know if 1 million BC was a real time around here. Yeah, I'm not even positive of that. But yeah, I don't know the narrative or what they were trying to push with that one. But yeah, I'm going to say 100% that I know for 100%. The only way I can answer this is that I know for 100% that Mars is not a physical place. The Mars, the red planet that we see, it's not physical. It's not a physical place. Hey, are the souls who have committed evil crimes just walking around on the other side, or is there a special place they go away from the good souls? No, because I haven't seen like a soul prison or something, but there are healing places. Like if they're going to be hurting themselves, like if you've hurt a lot of people when you have your life, you're going to be hurting yourselves. And there's like recovery places for people to like slowly convert back to being on the other side. But they're going to be hurt themselves, you know. So they punish themselves in that aspect. Yeah. How come we can't travel between these realms like they can? Because these bodies have limitations, and it was made up that way, and we're not as advanced intellectually to even begin to understand that. Like, so an example of this is we're just finding out in all of human history. Now, Tesla knew this. Everything, this universe was frequency, energy, and vibration. Tesla knew this. People knew this, but it wasn't taught on a massive scale. Now, there's levels to this. Like, there's people that figure this out. Then there's people that explain it to other people. And then there's people that will take what they're taught and expand upon it. You see? And then once you expand, if this was taught in school, people wouldn't have to waste their energy on figuring this out. They would then be able to waste their energy on figuring out, okay, well, how can I traverse this? You see, like everything is handed down here. Like I figure something out, I tell it to you, you take that information, you figure something else out, boom, 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 boom. That's evolution, you see? Now, if we were doing things like that, like if this continued for another 100, 200, 300 years and people were waking up more and more to this fact, I'd anticipate that we would be traversing the realms just like the ETs. I don't even think it would take that long once this became, you know, common knowledge and people and this was taught and other people could then focus their energy on, okay, so if this behave, like we have some smart people here, you know, okay, so if you take the smartest astrophysicists and put them on a task to figuring out how to traverse this realm because now they know the truth about the universe, probably figure some shit out, you know. I got a question. When you do out of bodies, are you sober or on a drug? I'm completely sober, my friend. I'm not speaking about drug-induced things at all. Is the key to sleep paralysis regulating the nervous system first? I wouldn't say the key, but that definitely helps. Yeah, that would definitely help. Is it the same beautiful everything's all good on the other side for people that have done really bad things? I mean, essentially, yeah. In time, yeah. I mean, the other side is just the other side, you know. You're gonna punish yourself. You're gonna feel immense pain yourself, though. You know, you'll put pain on yourself for sure. And things like that. Now, is it all free willy-nilly? No, because everything is also vibrational based, you see. So like if a person's evil, they're not going to vibrate at the frequency to even enter the heavenly realms. You're not going to vibrate at the frequency to leave realm 1, you see. So like if you're moving in this evil space, you're not going to even be able to leave this realm until you step out of that frequency. So there's things like that. Yeah. So it's not like you're walking around with souls that really want to kill you and stuff when you're in the heavenly realms. It's not like that because everything's frequency based too. So like if you're operating in that frequency, it's just not going to come, you know. So there's that too. How are we going to keep the other ETs safe from being blown up by our military who think they are attacking us? That's a good question, but I think they know. The government knows. They're not going to attack these ETs. They were trying to. I remember hearing Trump say, we're going to blow them up. We're going to blow one of these orbs up. Like, go ahead, bro. That's a freaking angel. Like, good luck. Good luck. Yeah, the ETs are so advanced. Our military is not going to touch them. You kidding me? You know, our military can't touch these guys at all. What do you think about transurfing reality? I'm not really sure. I don't really know about that. Well, all right, guys, I do have to get out of here. But thank you so much for all of your questions. Thank you guys for being here. This was a great session. Um, I do have, so we come back tomorrow for week 4. It's going to be a gathering on success stories. We're going to have a chance for us to share our experiences. And I will also be giving guidance on how to continue, each of the methods presented for the 3 weeks, how to continue them for longevity without getting tired, and just kind of how to maintain these skills and develop this into a lifelong skill for you to be able to leave your body at will pretty much all the time. And then May 17th, we have Sherry. She's coming to give a live guided session within. She's very good, and that's another lifelong skill that you guys will be able to use to go within, find the answers. She has done some amazing stuff by going within. She has reconnected with her imaginary friend from when she was a kid. She has remembered pre-birth memories. She has done some pretty good stuff. So she's going to be giving us an introduction on how we all can do that. And then May 24th, I'll be teaching Alchemy 101, an introduction into alchemy, with skills and practical things that you guys can do immediately after the session to begin your mastering this reality. But yeah, guys, so other than that, thank you guys very much for being here. I appreciate and love all of you. And until next time, I'm the Alchemist, and I'll see you on the other side.